Now, this is going to be a 16 match card, and as we go through each of the matches, I will be giving some background for all of them to get you up to date on what's been happening. And also because I've been booking this save from June 2020, so there's a lot of things that have gone differently to how they've gone in actual WWE. So I'll give you some background on each match to catch you up and all of that. Right now, though, I'll give you a little bit of a preview of what to expect by telling you 6 of the matches we have on the card for WrestleMania 37, 3 from night 1 and 3 from night 2. Starting with night 1, we will be crowning an inaugural NXT Japan champion when Kushida and Shinsuke Nakamura go one-on-one for the belt. Next up, Thaddeus Bullard, you heard that correctly, will be defending his Intercontinental Championship against The Undertaker in a casket match. Adam Cole is in for the fight of his life when he defends his Universal Championship in a triple threat match against Roman Reigns and the Royal Rumble winner, Big E. Going on to night 2, it's a true supervillain versus superhero battle at WrestleMania Hollywood when The Fiend battles with The Rock. The Women's World Championship will be on the line when Shayna Baszler looks to defend her gold against the Royal Rumble winners. Yes, that is winners with an S, Asuka and Charlotte. And then finally, in a match a long time in the making, Randy Orton and Edge go head to head one more time with Randy Orton's WWE Championship on the line. But even more importantly, I would say, if Edge loses, he must once and for all retire. Now, some of those things are definitely going to need a bit more explaining. I'm definitely looking at Thaddeus Bullard against The Undertaker there, I feel. But as I said earlier, as I go through the cards, I'll be giving a bit more background to each of the matches, so don't worry about that. And now, without further ado, let's begin WrestleMania 37. So starting things off here at WrestleMania 37, Night 1, we got the Cruiserweight title match. It's the champion, Angel Garza, defending against Finn Balor and John Morrison. Now Garza, he's had a good little reign with the belt, I think. He won it in August, I believe, at SummerSlam against Chad Gable. And he's held it since. He's defended it 11 times, I think, in those 6-7-ish months. So it's been a good reign. Defends here, triple threat against 2 former Universal Champions, which I will discuss more later, in Finn Balor and John Morrison. So let's just see how this one goes. 76. Really good match, that. In-ring performances, Garza has the best at 65, 63 for Morrison, 62 for Balor, 76 overall. Can't really ask for anything better there. Garza pinning Morrison after the wing clipper. I guess his 11th defense of the Cruiserweight title. Match got the crowd buzzing. Is this what you want? Nice fast action, strong match to start WrestleMania with a couple workhorses, and I think the Cruiserweight title really brought that. The next up, we're going to have the Triple Threat Tag Team TLC match. We're doing another one at WrestleMania. It's the New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston against the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly against the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. Usos won the belts from Cesaro and Nakamura in about November, and they've held it since. They're turning heel, aligning with Roman Reigns, and now they come up against both the New Day and the UE, kind of linking it to the Universal title main event as well, which is obviously Adam Cole, Roman Reigns and Big E. So yeah, I think this will be good. If you're doing another triple threat TLC match in a modern day, I don't think you can ask for 3 better teams than these ones for it. Before the match here, Big E wishing Kofi and Xavier Woods luck in the little room before the curtain you go out to get to the entrance ramp. Kofi and Xavier exit through it when Roderick Strong runs in from behind. He doesn't have anything planned tonight. He's available. And just hits Big E in the back with a steel pipe. Big E going down. Gets pulled back by the road agents. The medics checking on Big E. Kofi and Xavier storm back there, but Roderick Strong's already gone. They check on Big E, and Big E just tells them, I'll be okay, I'll go to the medic's office. You two go out there, win those tag titles. 84 for the segment, very good. And in the end, Triple Threat Tag Team TLC, your winners. And the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the New Day, Xavier Woods retrieving the title, winning it for the New Day. Rating wise, 63 for a gimmick match. I guess that's pretty good. I feel like it would do better in real life, but hey ho. Kyle O'Reilly with the best in ring wise, with Kofi in a close second. Got the crowd hot. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. Decent match. And then next up we have the $1 Million Championship. It's the $1 Million Champion, Mandy Rose. It's being brought in as a mid-card belt for the women. Inaugural champion was Charlotte Flair. Lost to Mandy Rose at the Rumble. Now Mandy Rose defending against Rio. Rio had a pretty good debut year. Now she's going for the $1 Million Championship at WrestleMania. And she gets it. 7 minutes 16. Rio beating Mandy Rose with the Samata, winning the $1 Million title. 32 for the match. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The women tend to have low popularity, so that's fine. Rio with a 32 performance, 32 for the segment. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Then next up, Paige. We'll segment Paige and Sarah. Sarah just goes to Paige, is exiting the medic's office. She asks, how's Big E? Is he okay for the main event? And Paige says, Big E's been checked over by the medics and he's clear to compete. He wants to compete and he's gonna compete. So the triple threat match remains the same. And then next up we have the NXT Japan Championship. Opening NXT Japan as a promotion. So we need an inaugural champion. Why not crown it at Mania? And we got Kushida versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Two huge stars over there. And I think it's a great match to introduce NXT Japan to the wider world. And in the end, Nakamura pins Kushida after the Kinshasa. 63 segment rating. It's good. In-ring performance-wise, 61 and 44, so 63 is pretty good. And Nakamura is the inaugural NXT Japan champion. Doesn't say so here, but that's just because I'm going to send them to NXT Japan before giving him the belt there to not mess up Reigns or that. But then after the match, Nakamura handed the belt by the ref. Kushida and him show respect to each other before Kushida gives him a swift low blow, knocking him to his knees before giving him a kick to the head to take him out. Kushida just picks up the NXT Japan title, just looks at it, and before tossing it down on Nakamura. I think this is a good start for NXT Japan. Setting up Kushida as a big heel, Nakamura as a big face. I think they can go forward with that. That'll be pretty good. Next up, we have Jeff Hardy versus Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu, obviously aligned with Roman Reigns. Jeff Hardy, a lot of problems with Reigns' faction. Originally, he was going to team with Jey Uso at Survivor Series for tag titles. Jey and Jimmy attacked him earlier in the show. Jimmy taking his place. He came back. He was angry. He wanted revenge. He teamed up with Roman Reigns to face him for the titles at the Rumble, and Reigns turned on him to align with the Usos. And now Reigns and the Usos both busy, but Roman brought in obviously another family member, Jacob Fatu, to take care of Jeff Hardy, as he put it. Extreme Rules match. And Jeff Hardy gets the win. 63 rating. Happy with that. Swanton Bomb gets the victory for Jeff Hardy. 64 in-ring performance. Pretty good. Yeah, happy with that. And then next up we have Dreams and Nightmares versus DIY for the Defiant tag team titles. Now Defiant has been acting as a third brand, but post WrestleMania going forward, I will be changing it to NXT. The Defiant champions will be stripped of their belts, but they will be getting equivalent title shots on whichever show they end up on. Dreams and Nightmares just have a WrestleMania entrance. Dream descending from the heavens, Black raising from the grounds of hell, then meeting in the middle, the darkness and the light, the Defiant tag team champions. But in the end, it's DIY walking out with the titles. Tommaso Ciampa pinning Velveteen Dream after the meeting in the middle from DIY, they win the titles. Gargano carrying in terms of in-ring performance with a 68, 63 segment rating though. I'm happy with that based on the in-ring performances and the popularities, which are a little low for my liking, but going forward we can work on that. And next up, Charlie Caruso interviewing Roman Reigns. She asks him what he thinks of the Biggie attack early. He says, end of the day, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter if Biggie's in the match, if he's not in the match. Result stays the same. Roman Reigns leaving WrestleMania Universal Champion. And then Charlie Caruso also asks Roman Reigns, what does she think of The Rock's match tomorrow night against The Fiend? How does he think The Rock's going to do there? And Reigns is not happy. He just looks at her with contempt and disgust before walking away. He's obviously not happy about The Rock being brought up right now. And then next up we got Thaddeus Bullard versus The Undertaker. Thaddeus Bullard, if you can't notice, is a renaming of sorts, a new gimmick for Titus O'Neil, who decided that he was tired of being a joke. He was tired of being Titus O'Neil, so he went to his real name, Thaddeus Bullard, won the 24/7 title, held that for 5 months, I think, clocked about 40 defences with it, before throwing it in the trash, and winning the vacant Intercontinental title at Survivor Series. And he's held it since. He turned on Mark Henry, his mentor, aligning with Paul Heyman. He beat Big Show at Armageddon, took out Kane at the Rumble. After the match, tried to powerbomb, or Bullard bomb as he calls it, Kane through the announcer's table when the lights went out. When they came back on, the Undertaker was there to save his brother, choke slamming Bullard through the table. And Bullard wasn't happy. He called Undertaker out on a number of occasions to come in weeks, but he never showed up. Come Elimination Chamber in the WWE title Contenders Chamber, Bullard dominating as expected. When the lights go out again and when they come back, Undertaker's there. Another choke slam, leading to Bullard's elimination. And in the end, the match was made official. Thaddeus Bullard versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania casket match for the Intercontinental title. Thaddeus Bullard has his WrestleMania entrance in 81. It's kind of like a graveyard setting. There are 4 graves, Mark Henry, Big Show, Kane, and The Undertaker, with 4 caskets in front of them. And Bullard just goes down the line, slowly pushing down the caskets for Mark Henry, Big Show, and Kane. Then he gets the Undertaker one, and him and Paul just smile at each other as Bullard slaps the top of it, and 2 men come in to grab the casket and drag it away when Bullard and Heyman and the 2 men appear on the ramp, and they just walk to the ring with the casket ready for the match. Undertaker with an 87 here for his entrance. Is standard Undertaker WrestleMania, lots of druids lined away with fire, and Undertaker makes his way to the ring for this match. And in the end, Thaddeus Bullard retaining the Intercontinental title, his 7th defense, putting Undertaker away with a Bullard bomb into the casket. Good match, I think. Undertaker 76, Bullard 63, 68 rating. Bullard a bit off his game, sadly. I've been the biggest stage against The Undertaker. You got to up your game there, Thaddeus, but oh well. And in the end, though, Thaddeus Bullard retains. He's very happy with himself, walks away. He's beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's made a statement there as he takes out another legend. And then after the match, 78 rated here, Undertaker, the Druids come out, lined away with fire, and a couple of them grab the casket and drag it up the ramp. And when they get to the top, a few of them set it on fire, and the casket just descends into the ramp. And then there's a lull, there's a pause. The Druids, they've all walked away. It's silence. And then suddenly a figure raises out where the casket was. But it's not The Undertaker, it's just Mark Calloway. He's not wearing the singlet or the jacket or the hat or the gloves, it's just him. Jeans, shirt, jacket. And he just turns around, does his arm pose before walking away. Undertaker saying goodbye. I do think that will be a goodbye. I don't think I'll be using him going forward, but you know, never say never, I suppose. And there's a little promo for WrestleMania Night 2, highlighting the 3 main events. The Women's World Title Triple Threat, Asuka, Charlotte, Shayna. The Fiend versus The Rock, and Edge versus Orton, 78 rating. Pretty good. And then we're on to the main event. Roman Reigns, Adam Cole, Big E for the Universal title. Universal title started with Strowman, who lost it to Morrison at Extreme Rules. Morrison fought The Miz at SummerSlam. Morrison got the win, but Miz not very happy with that turn, the Morrison skull-crushing finale, which allowed Otis to cash in, becoming Universal Champion. Otis would defeat Miz at the next event after some interference from John Morrison, but Adam Cole and the UE made their debuts, attacking Otis, which led to Otis, Adam Cole, and Adam Cole in his pay-per-view debut winning the Universal title, and he's held it ever since. Big E would go on to win the Royal Rumble, but he was stripped of his Royal Rumble WrestleMania title shot, and it was awarded to the runner-up, Roman Reigns. But Big E, obviously not very happy with this. It led to the New Day versus Roman Reigns and the Usos in an Elimination Chamber match, where if the New Day lost, they would be fired, but if they won, Big E would get his world title match at Mania. And it came down to Big E and Roman Reigns, and it was Jeff Hardy with a little bit of interference to get some revenge on Roman Reigns, hitting a twist of fate on Roman Reigns, and then a swanton off the pods before Big E hit the big ending and got the pin to set his sights and get his ticket to WrestleMania. So the triple threat, Big E makes his way to the ring. He's a little bit bandaged up, obviously, after the attack from Roderick Strong, but he's ready to go. Roman Reigns makes his entrance. He does a Civital, I think, with Usos, Fatu, a few other Samoans and family members. He's ready for war. He's ready for this match. 80 rating, pretty good. Adam Cole making his entrance, comes out in a limo surrounded by Secret Service type men, you know, suits, glasses, earpieces. One of them opens the door, he comes out, he's got his little golden trunks on and whatnot. He's ready for this Universal title round his waist. 82 rating. And in the end, your winner and the new Universal Champion, Big E, pinning Adam Cole after the big ending. 85 rating. Really happy with that. Really good. Adam Cole, with 84 in-ring performance. He was the best here. Really good match overall. Big E overcoming the odds, winning the Universal title for the first time. And after the match, Kofi and Xavier Woods rush down to the ring with the SmackDown tag titles. And I've accidentally put Roman Reigns here instead of Big E. But you get the spirit. Kofi, Xavier, Big E, the New Day, all the gold on SmackDown that they want, the Universal title and the SmackDown tag titles, and they just celebrate. The crowd, obviously very happy. They love the New Day, they love Big E, they're happy to see him at the top. And that's how WrestleMania Night 1 goes off air. New Day, all the gold, celebrating in the ring. Overall, 84 rating for WrestleMania Night 1 here. Increased popularity in 24 regions. I think that's really good. I'm really happy with that. Ooh. I'm gonna make my speeches. I'm going to do Gaza. I'm gonna do Biggie. And I'm gonna do Thaddeus Bullard. Good performance, Gaza. Good performance, and tell Bullard he's awesome, because I think he is. Pleased. That's great, and that is WrestleMania 37 Night 1. Moving on to Night 2 now, with the Defiant Championship match, Andrade versus Angel Garza, the final of the Defiant matches. Here, Andrade and Angel Garza, of course, had their issues in the past, both formerly managed by Zelina Vega, but then, at my save, they broke up around July, August, I think. Andrade coming out on top in the little feud they had. Angel Garza moving on, but now coming back, the two fighting for championship gold to kick off Mania. Garza's second match of the weekend, and in the end, it is Garza who comes out victorious, a double champion now, winning the Defiant title with the wing clipper. 76 rated match. It's done quite well there. Very good start again from a match involving Angel Garza to start a night. Garza above Andrade in terms of performance, and it's not much to complain about here. Garza, I've big plans for issue of stamina. Have to work on that because in the future, I feel like he will be wrestling a lot during this save. But yeah, Garza comes out victorious, wins the Defiant title, celebrates with both of his championship belts. The champ. And then next up we have a big match here, the MVPs, comprising of Angelo Dawkins, Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, my version of the Hurt Business, against the Street Profits, I suppose, or just an umbrella term for them at the moment, Montez Ford, Mark Quinn and Rich Swann for the Raw Tag titles. The losing team must leave Raw. Dawkins and Ford, obviously starting as the Street Profits, starting as the tag champs, lost the belts to the MVPs, Cedric and Ricochet. Won them back, but had some issues. Dawkins didn't feel appreciated as much. He got injured for a bit, and Ford brought in Swann to replace him. Dawkins didn't appreciate it, and eventually turning on him, aligning with MVP, saying that everyone around here seems to think that Montez Ford is the face of the Street Profits, is the main man, is the future. But Dawkins knows the truth, and so does MVP. And so he's going to work with him, he's going to use that push and go forward on his own. And now there's a big blow off. MVP Street Profits losers team leaving Raw Tag Titles on the line, and in the end it is the MVPs who come out on top. It comes down to just Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford in the ring, I imagine, in my head, and the two just go at it. It's a war. But in the end, it looks like Ford's got the upper hand. He's on the top rope, ready for the frog splash. When MVP gets on the turnbuckle, provides the distraction, Ford kicks him down, but it allows Dawkins time to get up, jump to the top rope, grab Ford, and hit the pop-up spinebuster off the top rope for the 1-2-3 to get the win. MVP's retaining the tag titles and staying on Monday Night Raw. Montez Ford above and beyond everyone there, pretty close with Cedric Alexander. Yeah, happy with that 66 rating. Segment rating above all their performances, so yeah, I'm happy with that. And it's the Street Profits, little unit here, who will be leaving Monday Night Raw and going on to pastures new. NXT or SmackDown Live, we'll have to wait and see, but it's the MVPs who reign supreme, and Angelo Dawkins getting the big pinfall victory over Montez Ford. And then after, Charlie Caruso interviews Edge a little bit here. Edge, he's ready for the main event. He talks about 10 years ago, WrestleMania 27. He defeated Alberto Del Rio, retained the World Heavyweight title, but then had to retire shortly after. And he says it's 10 years later, and he's going to win back what he never lost. He's going to beat Randy Orton. He's going to win the WWE World Heavyweight title. And he's just... he doesn't feel like there's any doubt. He's going to put his all on the line because he says he'd rather die trying than not win the title. Because if he can't beat Randy Orton, if he can't win the WWE title, what is there for him, So he's ready. He's excited. He's happy. And then next up, we got the Defiant Internet Championship match. Obviously, earlier was not the end of the Defiant titles, but this one is the Defiant Internet title match. AJ Styles defending against Keith Lee. AJ Styles, the only Defiant Internet champion, winning it in December. It has been very cocky AJ Styles, He went to the final on a bit of a losing streak, having been pinned by Thaddeus Bullard when Thaddeus won the Intercontinental title at Survivor Series. But he didn't think of that. He just ignored that. He said AJ Styles is phenomenal, the best in the world. He's going to make this brand. He's going to make that title. And he won it. And he's held it well. But now he's against his biggest challenge yet. The man he didn't really want to fight, Keith Lee, who won an Elimination Chamber match against big guys like Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, longtime friend and rival Dominik Dijakovic to get here. And now Styles and Lee going at it for the Defiant Internet title. And in the end, it's Keith Lee with the Spirit Bomb victorious. AJ Styles 72, Keith Lee 58, pretty good for his first match on the main roster. Got to work on his popularity to get that up. 76 segment rating, that's great. These two would put on a good match. I imagine the ending would be AJ Styles going for the phenomenal forearm, but Keith Lee catches him in midair, hits the Spirit Bomb, gets the win to win the Defiant Internet title, his first main roster title, which he will have to promptly vacate, but he'll get a, same level title opportunity, I suppose. So North American, US, or Intercontinental title. And Keith Lee gets the big win. Very good. And then next up, women's tag team titles. Banks and Bayley, the champions, against the Sky Pirates, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai. I don't know what more to say about it. It's just a dream match, I suppose. 4 amazing female wrestlers here. Any combination of singles would be dream matches, but this most certainly is the tag team of it all. And in the end, it is the Sky Pirates who come out on top. Io Shirai pinning Bayley, winning the WWE Women's Tag Titles, the pair. Performance-wise, Bayley and Io get the highest. Sasha with only a 53. Io off her game as well. We'll have to work on the popularities a little bit here. As always, a lot of this will be working on the popularities at the start, so segment ratings could be a bit lower, but obviously as we work on the popularities, they will go up. And yeah, it always matters is the Sky Pirates coming out on top, winning the women's tag titles, and then after match, just a little sign of respect here. The 4 women, they show respect to each other. Banks and Bayley raise Shirai and Sane's arms. A nice little ending to it all. The fans cheering, very happy with it. And then moving on next up, the European Championship. That's right, the European title. Cesaro, the champion, winning the US title at Survivor Series, but saying, you know what, WWE, the United States, none of them are good enough, but Cesaro is. And he's not going to let a man of his caliber, of his talent, represent such a poor nation. Instead, he will represent and be the champion of the greatest place in the world, Europe. Declaring himself European champion. Held the title well, putting on countless match of the year contenders, as you would expect of Cesaro. But now facing his biggest challenge yet, Chad Gable, All-American athlete. I'm hoping for a really good match here, to be honest. This could be match of the weekend, hopefully. And in the end, not quite match of the weekend, but very good. 80 rating. Chad Gable coming out on top with the ankle lock. Cesaro, no choice but to tap out. 14 minutes. Chad Gable winning the European title. 77 and 73 in ring performances. This has done very well. Got the crowd buzzing, as I'm sure a match between Cesaro and Chad Gable would. And then after the match, Chad Gable goes up the ramp. There's Paige there, and Chad Gable hands her the European title, and she pulls back a velvet case she's holding, and it's the United States Championship. And Chad Gable takes it and celebrates the United States Champion. Oh God. Oof. I have accidentally done the Intercontinental there, so I will have to fix that. Sorry to Thaddeus Bullard, who will have his reign interrupted, but I'll try to remember I did that. I will change that after. That is annoying. Oh well. Chad Gable, 77 rated at segment, wins European title, gives it up, your new United States champion. And then next up, Randy Orton has his interview. He says, Edge, he's had his fairy tale return at the Royal Rumble last year. He had his win at WrestleMania. But Randy Orton proved at Backlash that one-on-one, Randy Orton is better than Edge. And tonight it will stay the same. WWE title on the line. And finally, he will make Edge retire once and for all. And he says, stipulation or not, after this match, Edge will never wrestle again. because Randy Orton will hurt him so much. He will break him, he will bloody him, he will batter him. In the end, Edge will be begging him to stop, to pin him, to end Edge's career. And Randy Orton's WWE Championship reign will go on. And then, next up here, one of the main events of the night. The Fiend versus The Rock. Hero versus villain at the Hollywood Wrestlemania, because of course... it kind of sells itself, doesn't it? Rock, Hollywood superhero, The Fiend, nightmare, Hollywood supervillain, you could say, as I'd advertise it. And just a big match plan, The Rock versus The Fiend, and in the end, a little music video plays. Rock has his big entrance. I don't know, he sets his name on fire again or something. Who knows? It's The Rock. 82, and then 86 for The Fiend having his big entrance, doing Fiend stuff. You can tell I haven't thought these ones out as much as the ones from night one, but oh well. And in the end, match-wise, it is The Fiend coming out on top, 83 rated, good match, and The Fiend locking in the mandible claw until The Rock is unconscious, the ref having to stop the match. The Fiend coming out on top here. And I didn't include it here. I forgot to include it in the long list of things I've clearly forgot here for night 2. But I would have Roman Reigns come out at some point. I'd have The Rock getting ready for the People's Elbow. He jumps off the ramp. He jumps over the Fiend. He jumps off the other, bounces off the other rope, but then he turns into a Superman punch from Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns not happy with The Rock taking his limelight, not happy with The Rock not being involved in his entrance yesterday, in being asked questions about The Rock, instead of the focus being on him and his Universal Championship match, taking out The Rock here with the Superman punch, and The Fiend, which allowed time for The Fiend to get up and lock in the claw on The Rock to get the victory as Roman walks away. Obviously setting something up there for Roman and The Rock in the future, which you want to do, because that's a big match to happen someplace down the line. But right now, all that matters is The Fiend coming out on top here. And then next up, Women's World Title, Shayna Baszler versus Asuka versus Charlotte for their triple threat match. Asuka and Charlotte drawed in the Royal Rumble, both winning it. So both 2-time Rumble winners now. And in the main event of main events, I guess, of WrestleMania. One more match after this, but it's a main event level match. Women's World Title on the line, the unified SmackDown and Raw Women's titles. And yeah, Shayna Baszler been a bit of a dominant champ after beating Kairi Sane for the belt. But it's a big challenge. Shayna, Asuka, Charlotte, 3 great athletes, 3 submission machines. And Asuka has her entrance, 62 rated, pretty good. Charlotte has hers, 58, okay. 46 for Shayna, yeah, Shayna's popularity would be the lowest of them all, wouldn't it? But in the end, Asuka comes out on top, making Charlotte tap out with the Asuka lock, winning the WWE World title, Women's World title, 65 rated segment. Asuka, 61 performance, Charlotte, 58, Shayna, 39, yeah, that's the popularity again. But, and she was off her game. Oh, Shayna, this was your moment, girl. Oh well, Paul Heyman did some good work at ringside. Paul Heyman, Shayna Baszler's manager. Probably forgot to mention that, but it makes sense, doesn't it? UFC star. Put it with Paul Heyman, it's a tried and tested formula. 65 rated. Asuka getting her big win, winning the WWE Women's World title, yeah. Got the crowd buzzing. That's good news before the main event. Speaking of, it's time to get into that. A little video, Randy Orton and Edge, what more can you say? They had all their stuff 10 plus years ago, and then last year at the Rumble, the turn from Edge eliminating him, the match at Mania, the match at Backlash. And now one-on-one, Randy Orton got the chance to pick the stipulation. He picked for this to be just a normal match, but if Edge loses, he must retire once and for all. Title versus career. Randy Orton versus Edge. Edge has his big entrance. He's wearing, I would go with kind of restylized, but very similar to the attire he wore at WrestleMania 27, this attire. Because that's the story, isn't it? 10 years later, going for the world title, he never lost. And then Randy Orton having his entrance, 82 and 85 for the use, very good. Get the crowd really high before the match, hopefully get really good rating on this. Was a real star in this segment. Well, he is a real star, so that makes sense. And in the end, 81. The match was too long given our audience. I am changing the product, but the moment's apparently just under 16 minutes is too long. Oh well. In the end though, Edge gets the win with the spear, wins the WWE Championship, keeps his career going, doesn't have to retire. 81 rated. I'll take it, I guess. Orton with an 89, Edge with a 74. Okay, yeah. I guess with Edge, I got to put him in a little shorter matches because of the product, also because of stamina, I suppose. But yeah, Edge wins the big one for the first time in 10 years. The title he never lost. Beats Randy Orton, doesn't have to retire. The crowd going crazy. Yeah, both penalised for declining physical ability. Ooh, I'll have to remember that. But then, yeah, 87, I think that's the segment rating of the weekend, possibly. Edge just celebrating, the crowd going wild. You deserve it, confetti raining down. Edge, the WWE champion, again. Randy Orton's long reign coming to an end here. And it's Edge's moment, it's Edge's night. 82 for the show. Yeah, happy with that. I've been very happy with this entire weekend. There's been a good couple shows here. Popularity increase in 24 regions, good. Makes speech. Randy Orton had a great performance. Give it to Chaz. And I'll give it to Edge. Yeah, Edge. Great performance, Randy. Chad, good performance. Edge, you're just awesome. You really are. Pleased. Of course they all are. And that concludes WrestleMania 37, Night 1 and 2. Big E and Edge, the big winners of the weekend, winning their world titles. Asuka also winning the women's world title. Thaddeus Bullard defeating The Undertaker. The Fiend defeating The Rock. A lot of big moments. Chad Gable winning the US title. Going forward, next pay-per-views are Backlash, Raw and SmackDown co-branded, and NXT TakeOver in Your House, NXT pay-per-view. NXT, I will be treating as a third brand, main roster status. Having a little bit of a shake-up, superstar-wise. Title-wise, it's going to be SmackDown Raw will have the WWE Championship, the United States Championship, the Raw Tag Team, the Women's World, and the Hardcore, which we will be doing a tournament to crown a champion. NXT will have the NXT, the North American, the NXT Women's, the Cruiserweight, and the Cruiserweight Tag Team, new championship as well. And SmackDown will have the Universal, Intercontinental, new title, Universal Women's, we'll have a tournament for that, the $1 Million, and the SmackDown Tag Team. And the Women's Tag Team will be floated, and it will go, I think it will be defended at whichever brand has its own pay-per-view every month, so it'll be defended at In Your House first. Yeah, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Next up, we will have the Raw, NXT, and SmackDown after Mania, starting to build up to Backlash, just getting right into it. And if you'd like to see that, subscribe for more. Thank you.